The following video is not intended for children, and it's best enjoyed if you either don't care about spoilers, or you already finished the patch indicated by the title. Now where's my chicken nuggets?
Hello! State Driven here. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker and Newfound Adventure Patch 6.1. Last time, as you'll remember, the Warrior of Light and Y'shtola Rule went into the archives, had a little fun behind one of the bookshelves, and then proceeded to search for a book. Y'shtola tells me you're pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it.
Yep.
I have no doubt you'll be interested. The research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters, this is the mark of House Daymere. I never even knew such a thing existed. Few should, it was sequestered in Numenog's restricted archives after all. It was? But that means every word within is forbidden knowledge. And a forbidden tome full of forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it. Mode. Chuckle, chuckle. What? What's that thing I'm doing? Did you see that? What emote was that? Did you see that? To think the Daymere were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atomos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on a Daymere project that had even the redoubtable scholars of Sharlayan trembling in their sandals? No alchemist of the great work could resist. You're a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask. What do you mean to do with this big-mouth simulacrum once we built it? We're gonna go rescue a dragon. So there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we finish gathering the components I require.
Alright, I guess I'm going shopping.
Sharlayan's markers provided the raw aquamarine and pure crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. Oh! For such a liquid, you'd need to go no further than the font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you would be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vitra to join us. The idea that I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. All right. Shall we be about it then? We meet back here anon. Do you have that flask for me?
Yep.
Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Boone. Look who I came across. Estidian seemed in need of diversion, and we in turn may have need of his lance. Right then, now that our little party's assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Matsu's boat again? Not this time. Once Y'shtola informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Alike. Your Excellency is ever most gracious host. Shall we?
Yep. The ship is yours to command.
Our thanks. We set sail at once. So, this is so exciting. Halsdal's legacy. To see the truth of a legend with mine own eyes.
On the board for the treasure vault.
Proceed to the Weaver's Warding. Quite so, quite so. Oh. Now we trigger the cutscene. Uh-oh.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty.
Yeah, me neither.
It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
I don't know what help would have been.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
Yeah, the fewer people know a secret, the better.
Yes, stand back. Let her do her work.
What is it you're doing now?
Magic stuff, Estinian.
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater.
That sounds about right.
Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
By diving right in. But then again, I think I still have the blessing of the
How
light.
would you do that? The gate is still too small for any of us to pass through.
Estinian is correct, which is why I've elected to send a familiar in our stead.
Are you gonna make another one of those little puffy, cute things? Like in Matoya's Relict?
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow.
You're gonna make an imp.
Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
It's gonna be the cutesy thing, isn't it?
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
Wait and see.
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
That smile.
Water, water, froth and foam!
Stola, I've never heard your voice get that high-pitched outside the bedroom!
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
So she devised this incantation herself when she was like a kid, right? That's a Nixie. That's what they're called. They're freaking cute. I have never seen her ears get this animated before.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
Your secret's safe to me, with me.
In any case, these two should serve as well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
One control and one not control.
Ah, yes, of course.
I didn't think her ears could move.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
This lends credence to my theory that the
As you say.
Mikote ear twitching
You had
is...
best be on your guard as well.
tied to emotion, and because she's in control of her emotions, hers are like always stiff.
Froth and foam. We'll get beer later.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know.
Cool.
Let us begin, shall we?
The relic music.
Nixies, into the void.
Enter the void.
Don't Google that. Don't Google enter the void. Trust me. We wait for the Nixies to return. The exciting music starts to play. That's a good shot.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Oh, I'm thinking of Pixie and Dixie. Like, wasn't there a cartoon mouse called Nixie? No, it's Pixie and Dixie. Ugh. Is that the...
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Open, damn it, open!
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Ah, little imps.
They're coming through!
You know I'm here, right? And so are Y'shtola and... Estinian. You know, expert monster slayers.
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
It's really cool. They got like a... It's just like a giant plate where you know, oh my god, serving platter, party platter with a lid that they sealed the gate behind.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And knowing's half the battle.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
Unless the warding scale is the one that's dying.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent.
Okay, so they weren't going to pull a twist on us like the warding skills make it worse.
The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
Oh, goody.
Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct then.
Woohoo!
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
Oh.
It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently.
I wonder how it... I wonder how it would
We
interact
may
with...
need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
I wonder if Vanna's ward, Blessing of
You've
Light...
said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Exposition, please, yes.
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives.
And yet he doesn't spend his days in...
The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad.
Yep.
He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness.
I recall, I did that chain, yeah.
It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Unakalhai's spirit from his final battlefield.
Yes.
But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion.
Like?
Oh, yeah. The barmaid at the Wandering Stairs, she was Ardbert's elven swordsman companion.
The server, Ciela, wasn't it? And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns?
Yep. I did the whole thing with that.
I see. So Ciela, or rather Silva, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism as Unakalhai. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
You want specifics, okay, right. Boone recounted his tale, leaving nothing out.
I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a fun place.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other reflections we can visit too.
A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
And I'll be there to take all the damage while you blow things away with magic.
But first I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
I have every confidence in your ability to do so.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos.
Which will get finished whenever we get to the next expansion, right?
Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
Hurrah! I had to check to see if the mic was on.
We will see you back in the city then.
All right. I'm hungry for some curry. Oh, poor guy. He doesn't look happy at all.
Once Nidana succeeds in replicating the Makatamos, The door into the 13th will need to be opened. Will you be crossing into the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours.
Huh. To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the void myself. Might we discuss this later? There's something I must do first.
Is it wash your spear?
Ha! No.
Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Ahem. Shall we proceed with other preparations then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created it. Who do we know that excels in this kind of structural augmentation?
The Garland Ironworks!
An excellent suggestion. We get to see Sid! As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Ralga's Reach and commission their best and brightest.
Alright, meet you there. Oh, we can stop by and see Lisa as while we're at... Blah. Boone, what brings you to the Ironworks?
We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available.
Master Sid? Certainly, I'll see if he's got a moment free.
Why isn't there a link pearl emote?
Hey, good to see you guys. A pleasure as always. I hear you got a job for us. Yeah, we need you to take those warding scales we made and make them a bit tougher. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Meteon and that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation? Here you go. Well, it seems some manner of corrosion is set in around a scratch on its surface, much as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case our best bet may to simply be prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place.
And how might we achieve that?
We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. Armor's a great solution to everything.
Quizzical head tilt.
We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity so as not to impede the talisman's primary function.
A suit of armor, as you said.
Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him patch in with the design just to be sure. Can we get Dank Cock in on this too? If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars.
Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait.
Ha! The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. Oh, I forgot to ask about those Maggie parts. Later.
I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Nadana is getting on with the Mokotamos.
Okay.
Ah, Estola! The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records.
Okay.
What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components. And I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos.
Very nice.
I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
Yeah, I'll say.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless? Heedless even, in your determination?
Determination! Save your game.
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm.
Aww. We gotta go save
It
a
created a
child.
bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence.
So our dragons are
No matter
hermaphroditic,
how
aren't they?
deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together.
Or do they reproduce asexually like earthworms? I must
But
know!
I am satrap now.
Fist clench. But no, seriously, I want to know more about the biology of
The
dragons.
Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Who dat?
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament.
As of course he would.
For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people.
Yeah, that curtain that any old maid dusting
Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire?
Group hug, group hug!
We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
There's so much wholesome in this. I love it.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet,
Now you listen to me, Varshan.
Whoa. Damn, it's gonna get rough.
You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all.
Little spark.
And if you are family, then so too is your sister.
No fair playing flow game.
We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage.
Wow,
It
they got
means
built quick.
so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy.
Or some time
And I hope
passed.
that you and your sister can be together again too.
Listen, to protect those you love, you have to take heart.
Take heart and protect them well.
Yeah, that's a quote from someone earlier.
Such
You
were the
told-
words I once said to you. And here I
did.
stand, failing to live up to them.
Oh, from the trailer.
If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzadhan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties.
Tax policy.
While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention.
Where?
I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
What do you mean you made sun tea with that water? Ugh. It's clearly labeled
Take
don't
care
drink.
and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
You already did. Dude, with the music and the wholesome, you brought me a little to tears there.
You surprise me, Astinian. For a lone wolf, you showed an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Vritra reach his conclusion. Where are you? 'Twas for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the place was racked by some unnatural storm. Oh. What of your answer, then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thought were my thought. His rage, my endless rage. And the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Radakosker's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there is a chance we can spare Vitra this pain, then I will follow you.
Just the four of us? Surely some other want to help.
With things the way they are, I'd rather not bother our comrades with aught less than a dire threat to the star. It will make for an interesting journey besides, traveling in a smaller party for a change. Crowds can be a bit draining, don't you think? Now, on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before the devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan as such is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. 'Twould be more convenient if we had some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside of Megaduda.
Cutscene time again.
And so we require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests?
All the chambers are presently hosting great mounds of treasure from the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, well, we can redistribute the trove and make room or two ready for habitation.
Good. Please inform me when you've arranged the arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduta in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Azaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I'm grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture to the 13th, now is the time.
Okay. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart.
You know what this means to me, Boone, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We're headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know.
Ha! You got me dead to rights, pal.
Something tells me, is this the end? Oh.
Meanwhile, in the 13th...
This could be the end of patch cutscene. Wow. Everything got fucked up here.
Oh! He's got a scythe.
So maybe that's actually Xenos' Void Scent. Because, you know, Xenos is dead, so his Void Scent would not have a master anymore, right?
He's got hands on his face, what the hell?
And thus I am returned. To this world, bereft of saviors.
Of course it could be any old Reaper, right? But, I don't know. But then again, I don't know. Maybe it is Xenos' Reaper? Or...
Let paths unwalked and adventures spur. Pulses quicken, spirits stir.
Ooh, it rhymes this time.
Is there more to it?
No! That sound means it's the end of the patch. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Much shorter than the MSQ of Endwalker, but see you in the next one. I intend to live stream my Alliance raid experience rather than try to record it in an episodic format, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that as soon as possible. See you next time.